Make sure and watch your school sports
at MadisonCountySchoolSports.com.
MCS TV and MadisonCountySchoolSports.com present your look at local school sports.
Oh, there you go. You got time. Go right.
Goes up and under, nice throw. Your School Sports is brought to you by State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goble in Richmond, Luxury Pet Service, Guardian Bank, FaithCreated.org, Davenport Custom Guitars, your local repair connection, Richmond Tourism, Time Warner Cable, Madison County Schools, WWAG Radio, and Rosenbaum Communications.
Welcome back to Madison County School Sports Television. I'm here with Coach Alan Feldhouse Jr. from the Madison Central Indians, and also with Jerry Goble. Coach, talk about your season so far, and in particular this past week that you had 3 fantastic games that I think that everybody has enjoyed.
Well, it's been pretty exciting thus far. I guess we're 22-0 at this point. Had some very close basketball games. I guess 3 out of our last 4. Those one-possession games, starting with Lincoln County, I guess, last Friday night on the road. That was a tough game for us because we knew we had Trinity, the #1 team in the state, the next night, and it really wasn't that we played that bad. They played really good, especially one player got on fire, and we were lucky to survive, being 6 points down with about 2 minutes to go, and once again just kind of found a way to win.
Right.
So then that led us into Saturday night when we played Trinity, and great atmosphere over at Mount Sterling in the Joe B. Hall Prep Classic, and I really didn't know. I mean, I'd watched Trinity on tape several times, and probably one of the deepest and most athletic teams that I've seen in the state of Kentucky in a long time, and probably the best defensive team that I've seen in a long time. But our guys are ready, and I think that's definitely the game that they've been pointing towards for a long time, and especially my guards, Dominic Hawkins and Kenja Bosley. We don't get to face man-to-man very often.
Right.
We knew Trinity was going to play us man-to-man, and our guards kind of showed what they can do against the man-to-man pressure, and one of them had 33 and one of them had 28, and it was just a great high school basketball game, great atmosphere, and one of those games that get you ready for tournament play. And
That's
then,
right.
Of course, we come back and play Tates Creek on Tuesday night, and of course we're #1 team in the state, AP, and kind of adds a little weight on your shoulders, and they were ready for us, and that's what we try to tell our guys. I mean, every team you play from now on, you kind of got a bullseye on your back. They're going to be gunning for you, and you're going to get their best. And we definitely got their best. And once again, we were lucky to survive.
Right. The Tates Creek game, looking back at their scores, Jerry and I were talking about it at the broadcast. They're kind of a low-scoring team. Looks like they wanted to spread you out, and the Gibson kid would like to take you man-to-man. But they got up and down, started hitting some shots. Fucci was pretty tough down low, smart kid.
That was our big problem. I mean, their post, really, they manhandled our post that game. It was a good lesson for our post.
Right.
We had a good little film session on Wednesday. It kind of woke them up, and I think it did wake them up because last night both our post players against Russell County had double-doubles. And you need those games. You need those games you can go back in the film room and kind of show them, this thing doesn't lie. I mean, you're not blocking out, and this guy wants that ball more than you. And they kind of stepped it up last night after seeing that film.
It's good to learn after a win too. I'm sure.
It is. Yeah, a lot of times when you get those type of film sessions, it's usually after a loss. So that's kind of unusual. Yeah, we haven't been in that situation before.
Jerry?
Coach, one of the things I was going to ask you about, of course, the kids I know being undefeated and they're having a great year. As a coaching staff, you all I know look at one game at a time. How difficult is it right now to kind of keep those kids focused that way? Because they have to have realistically, they have to feel like they could run this table now. I mean, they literally could win out. And so how do you keep them game at a time?
I think they've really done a very good job. We really don't mention it as far as the part about being undefeated. And I guess you start, I'm sure it's human nature, you're going to think about it a little bit. And I guess after we won the 2 tournaments over the holidays and we were still undefeated, we made a conscientious effort to make sure that we told them our team motto is, one game at a time. And we bring that up after every single game. We tell them who we've got the next game. With some of our guys, I guarantee you they can't tell you who we're going to play Tuesday night. We didn't mention it after the game the other night. So with them, it really is one game at a time. But they've done a good job. I don't think they're getting caught up in the hoopla. But I just don't want them to feel any pressure. We've never been in this situation before, this far along in the season, been undefeated and ranked #1 in the state. So we just stay after them. We try not to look ahead. And right now our focus is on Henry Clay Tuesday night, which will be an unbelievable battle for us because they're probably playing about as good as anybody in the 11th region. It's on the road too.
I saw the score last night. They had a nice win. Tell me this, that's what you bring me into a question there, considering and talking about the 11th region. Always tough. You guys ranked #1 in the state, and yet every night you play a Lexington school or a Scott County or even Woodford County. It seems like it's a real battle. Tell me about that 11th region and how you feel like you stack up in the state in terms of regions.
Well, it's no different than any other year. It's going to be tough. The 11th region tournament, I think, is a mini state tournament in itself. And I thought going into the season, I thought we'd definitely be a contender. And really, I think right now, as the season's progressing, I think there's 4 teams really that are kind of rising to the top. Scott County, of course, they play unbelievable defense. I've seen them play several times. They're playing really well. And Henry Clay and Lexington Catholic are the 2 that I think are kind of stepping up. Catholic had a little struggle there in January, but they had some people hurt. They weren't 100%. But including us, I think those are the 4 teams that I would think maybe are a little above everybody else. And it's never going to be easy. We got Lexington Catholic still left on the road. We got Henry Clay still left on the road, and I'm looking forward to those games. I want to see how we stack up. But really, those games don't mean anything. Yeah. It's those games in late February and early March that really mean something. So we still got a long ways to go with some tough games on the schedule.
Absolutely.
You got a junior-laden team, a couple seniors that start. I think that probably helps that they don't get caught up in all the hoopla. But so far, what's been your biggest surprise this year?
Well, I said going into the season, Kenja Bosley, I thought would probably be the biggest surprise. It didn't surprise me, but I thought he would be the biggest surprise to everybody else because he was new to our program last year, and he really never did get comfortable, and especially he was lost defensively a lot, and therefore he didn't get that much playing time. He did have a couple good games last year where he had 20 points, but we just couldn't find that consistency from him because I just don't think he was comfortable with our system. And our system is pretty complicated, and I could tell this summer, he understood what we expected defensively. And we thought we were going to have a good basketball team. We played 20 games this summer, and we won all 20. And in my 26 years of coaching, we've never gone undefeated in the summertime. So I think that gave our kids a lot of confidence coming into the season. And you got to realize most of these kids have played varsity basketball for 3 years.
Right.
Even though we are relatively still young because we're a junior-laden team, those guys played a lot
of basketball.
So that's a very experienced basketball team.
Is there anything that you keep working on? I know defense is always a key for your teams. What Jerry and I noticed during the Tates Creek game in particular, you do like to press 2-2-1. I think a lot of the times that wasn't working very well, so you just moved it back to half court, and that made a difference.
Hey, if we're going to give up open threes, we're going to give up layups. We're not going to press very long. I can't stand to give up those open threes and layups. So we kind of just play it by ear. Last night we thought against Russell County, they handled our press pretty good the first half, but we thought we could kind of wear them down because we had a little bit more depth than they did, and it worked. So, but really what it comes down to, our strong point, and always has been, I think, since I've been here at Madison Central, is our half-court man-to-man defense. And when you get in that 11th region tournament, and you get to that, any of the 3 games in the 11th region tournament, you're probably going to play against good competition who can handle a press. So you're going to have some close basketball games, and I think it's always going to come down those last 3 or 4 minutes, who can play the best half-court defense and who can execute the best in half-court offense. So I think it'll come down to a half-court game. Even though we probably pressed more this year than we have in a long time because we're pretty athletic and we have a lot of depth too.
Right. Yeah, that's really, when it comes down, you have to stop the other team. That's what it boils down to. You have to have a stop because everybody knows what everybody runs. Most of the time it's motion offense or some type of a passing game, what have you. You have to have a stop, and your teams do that.
Well, we spend a lot of time for our half-court man-to-man defense, and most years we're not as athletic as the teams in Lexington and Scott County, and we really have to rely on just tough, hard-nosed half-court man-to-man defense. But even this year, even though we are pressing more, it's going to come down to how we guard that half-court.
Right.
Coach, one question I want to ask you. You've been coaching now for how many years?
26 years.
26 years. Tell me, what are the biggest things you see change in the high school game in those 20-some years? And I know it's a lot, but what would you kind of narrow it down to as some of the biggest changes?
Well, I think you talk to other coaches, I think they always say the biggest change they've noticed is what the kids are doing in the summertime. And I can remember when I first started coaching, that's really when they first started having summer basketball for your actual team. And you'd play maybe 5 or 6 games throughout maybe June, and that was about it. The rest of the time was downtime. But now you still get those we usually have about 3 weeks in June where we get to play with our team. But most of my guys now, after we get done playing in June, they go straight playing with the AAU teams, and of course that's where they can get out and get that exposure with the college coaches and play against really good competition. It's just got to be where it's a year-round sport, and it's hard for athletes now to play 2, 3, 4 sports.
Yeah.
So when I played in high school, I played 4 sports. I went from one to the other, and it's just almost impossible to do that anymore. And I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's bad, but I know that's the way things are now.
Well, if you're going to keep up, you're going to have to do it, aren't you?
I
tell you one other thought. The team has really seemed like they're shooting the ball well from the free throw line. And I know, we talk, Randy and I talk on the broadcast a lot of times, the rebounding, turnovers, and free throws really set teams apart. Your team's doing really well in a couple of those categories, free throws especially. Yeah. What have you been doing different, or is there anything different?
We got the right people at the line shooting free throws. That's the big thing. I've really, in my 26 years of coaching, I've never had a really good free throw shooting team. I've never had a team shoot anywhere close to 70% as a team from the line. And I looked at our stats last night, and we're right there about 68, 69. So it's by far the best free throw shooting team. And it helps when your perimeter players, of course, at the end of the game in close basketball games, we want the ball in Dominic Hawkins and Kenja Bosley's hands. And I think Kenja's shooting 80% from the free throw line, Dominic shooting 76% from the free throw line. Our other perimeter player, John O'Brien, shooting 80%. But who's made probably the biggest improvement is Quan Taylor. He's shooting almost 70% from the free throw line. Last year, he barely shot 50. So, I mean, he's worked on it. He's worked on it when he was injured this summer. He injured that foot. He got our shooting machine out, and he would shoot 100, 200 free throws every day, and he believes he can step up there and make them. He's shooting at a 70% clip, and I think that's really surprised a lot of people.
Showed up the other night with 5 seconds to go. Your big guys hit 2 to tie it, and then 1 to win the game against Trinity.
3 out of 4, and that was definitely the difference. So I think it's more of the fact that having the right people at the line, especially at the end of the game, because that's when you're going to shoot a lot of free throws, especially if you're ahead. They're going to foul your ball handlers, and we've got guys that I feel comfortable, especially Kenja. When he goes up there with the game on the line, I haven't seen him miss too many.
That's good.
Well, Coach, with 7 games left on the schedule, and then the district tournament, the region tournament, I know the community's backing you. Had a huge crowd Friday night, and also the Tage Creek game, and we'd like to see good basketball, and we appreciate everything the kids are doing and what you're doing, and good luck the rest of the season.
Well, it's been fun, and you don't get to experience years like this.
That's right.
Years like this very often. Our crowds, our home crowds here this entire month have been great, and that's a tribute to those kids, and they deserve that, because when you're 22-0, that's going to get a lot of people excited. I think it's good for the whole school community. So
that's right.
We're going to take it one game at a time and see what can happen.
All right. We'll be right back after this.
Your School Sports is brought to you by State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goble in Richmond, Luxury Pet Service, Guardian Bank, faithcreated.org, Davenport Custom Guitars, your local repair connection, Richmond Tourism, Time Warner Cable, Madison County Schools, WWAG Radio, and Rosenbaum Communications.
Hi, I'm David Sullivan. In the years traveling with ESPN and covering sports around the country, one of my biggest concerns was that my dogs were well cared for. Well, here at Luxury Pets, you can feel very comfortable your animals and pets are being cared for.
Well, thank you, David. You know, Luxury Pet Services is the home for happy dogs.
Luxury Pet Services is located about 3 minutes from Richmond Center. Visit our website or Facebook us. Luxury Pet Services, the home for happy dogs.
Welcome back to Madison County School Sports Television. We're here with Robbie Cooksey, head coach of the Madison Central girls basketball team, and also along with us are Jerry Goble, and we are talking about Madison Central's girls season so far, where Coach Cooksey is sitting at a record of 16-4, coming off a phenomenal year last year of reaching the state tournament for the first time ever, I think, as a Madison Central girls basketball team. And Coach, talk about your team, how you're doing so far, and how last year's run in the state tournament has helped your team this year.
Well, we're like you said, we're 16-4, having a good year. You know, our kids, we're playing a lot of kids this year who varsity-wise didn't get to play last year. So it's taken us some time to get adjusted and acclimated. But those kids are coming along. You know, last year was it was a great run for us. First time in school history we've ever been to the Sweet 16. Had a really good shot of beating the state champions, Rockcastle County, and you know, it was just, I think it was really good for our community. It was great for our school and great for our program.
Yeah, it was an unbelievable crowd that went to Bowling Green where the girls' state tournament is hosted. I was at the regional games at Eastern, fantastic crowd. Everybody got behind. Of course, it's easy to get behind a winner.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what you've built so far. And I think that's a tribute to you and your coaching staff of establishing a winning program here at Madison Central. You've got a lot of great players. A lot of different players on this year's team than what you had last year. Tell me a little bit about some of the folks that helped you out this year that weren't on a crucial role last year.
Well, we've got really starting off Ashley Hinkle and Heather Hinkle. Played a little bit last year, but if you look at the box scores, maybe only 3 to 5 minutes. This year, both of them have stepped up and they're starting. They're giving us number one, they give us tremendous defense. And then number two, they are very smart basketball players. They are not the most athletic, but, defensive-wise, they will guard you. They're smart. They know how to play. Senior-wise, we've got Crystal Miller, who stepped up, post player, shoots the ball really well, athlete. She's kind of been hampered. She had an ACL tear about 2 years ago, which really slowed her progress, but this year she's really taken a step forward for us. Aaliyah Minner, another senior, who has really stepped up. Aaliyah is a tremendous athlete, not a great shooter, but slashes really well, gets to the hole for you. And, these kids have really stepped up. 3 out of the 4 that we're talking about are seniors, and, they just they step up, they lead, and they know from last year's experience what it takes to win.
As we can tell through your raspy voice, you had a rough game last night. Madison Central gets invited to the LIT Louisville Invitational Tournament. Tell us a little bit how prestigious that tournament is and how you think your team fared.
Well, last year we got the call right as school was going out, asking if we would like to come. Our schedule was pretty much set, and the LIT it's the most prestigious girls basketball tournament in the state, besides the state tournament and the 11th region tournament. We jumped at the chance. It's the first invitation in school history. It matches you basically with the 4 top teams in Louisville after they play 2 or 3 rounds. And then it puts you with the 4 top teams in Louisville and the 4 top out of Louisville state teams.
Right.
For us, we got to play Manual last night, number 1 team in the state. Great experience. Great crowd there at Bellarmine College. Everybody's sitting right down there on top of you, and it's 11th region and state tournament type atmosphere.
Right.
We lost last night, but I think a good lesson for us is it prepares us for, it's going to prepare us for 11th region play. And if we do make it to the state tournament, it's going to prepare us for what we see there.
Right. Speaking of the 11th region, you just had a fantastic win against Lexington Catholic, and I believe that was on the road.
It was.
Tell us a little bit how your team fared and who is your biggest, foes in the 11th region down the road.
Well, we went to Lexington Catholic on Monday night. Our biggest thing against them is we held them to 25% shooting for the field. When you hold a team like that likes to get in transition, and you can set them down in a half-court set and hold them to 25% shooting, 14% in the second half. They only scored 6 points in the second half, and you know, that's a tribute to our kids and the half-court defense that we played. You know, Lexington Catholic, according to the papers and a lot of people, is the team to beat. So, you know, going up there and beating them at their place is a big deal for us. And, you know, when you talk about other teams in the 11th region that you're going to have to beat to get to the Sweet 16, obviously you've got Catholic. You've got Dunbar, who is, I think, 18-4 right now, having a great year. You've got Scott County. Scott County's always in the mix. It doesn't matter what their record is; they're always in the mix. I think Tate's Creek has got a really good team. Their record doesn't indicate it, but I think they have a chance to make some noise in the 11th region. Franklin County's got some injuries, but you know, Coach Thacker does a great job, and they'll be a team that will make it to the 11th region. They'll be a team that you'll have to beat to get to the championship. So it's not unlike any other year. I mean, it's a typical 11th region year.
Right.
You got 4 or 5 teams in the top 25, and they, you know, it's going to be who gets hot at the end of February.
Right. And that's what your team did, I think, last year. Really got hot, got a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
I don't think that they knew, you know, how good of a point guard you had. Especially the championship game of the region. They kept pressing and she kept scoring and kept scoring. It was almost unbelievable.
Yeah, Laren, you know, Laren's fantastic. You can't say enough about what she does for our team. Number one, every night she's going to handle the pressure for you.
Right.
Doesn't matter what type of press they use or if they double team her, she's going to get the basketball and you're not going to keep her from the basket.
Right.
And, you know, when she gets to the hole, she's going to draw 2 or 3, and that's going to leave other kids open, and we feed off that.
Right.
And if you don't double her, you know, she's going to take you to the basket, and she's going to step up and hit threes. I mean, the kid can, you know, people will drop off of her, but against Catholic, she was 3 for 3 from the 3-point line. Yeah. I mean, the kid can shoot. Mm-hmm. Averaging about 22 a game. You know, her and Ashton Feldhouse, they make us go. And then, you know, you throw in Kristen Congleton, who is, you know, last night against Manual, 15 points, 10 rebounds. You know, you throw in a kid that's going to give you 10 rebounds every night, and Kristen is so physical. She's going to give you about 10 rebounds every night, and she's going to play a post player every night. You know, she's going to bang you, and she's going to wear the opposing post player out.
Right.
You know, you throw those 3 kids in there, and you've got a mix for a pretty good team.
Right. Jerry?
Robbie, you know, a lot of teams, every team really will eventually kind of develop that personality that is their team. Usually those things are the things the coaching staff has been working on with them from the beginning. What would you say is your team's personality? What are the things that you want to do at the end of the night? If you've done them, you've been successful.
Well, number one, the first thing we talk about is, you know, defensively, we want to hold teams under 35% shooting. You know, we put goals on the board every night before we go out and play. We want to hold the team to 35% or less from the field. We want to try and create 15 turnovers or more. And then rebounding-wise, we are, compared to other teams, we're a small team, so we want to try and keep the rebounding gap. We want to try and keep it at least close or where we're not getting out-rebounded by more than 5 rebounds. And, you know, typically on most nights we're able to accomplish the first 2. Rebounding-wise, we are getting better. We've just got, you know, where you've got these small guards sometimes who play really good defense, at times it's hard to rebound. There's nights that we, size-wise, we're not able to match up height-wise with a lot of these kids. And in girls basketball, I mean, if you watch it, you're not always a lot of times it's not always the team that blocks out the best. It's the team that has the best athletes to get the basketball. Yeah. You know, there's a lot of long shots that go. You know, the rebounds are long, and you know, there's a lot of 50-50 balls. We want to try and get those 50-50 balls, and typically most nights we're able to run those down. But you know, like you say, personality-wise, those are the 3 things we're looking at. We want to rebound, we want to defend, and you know, we want to hold people under 35% shooting.
Interesting you say that. No, most coaches you talk to today, scoring is not part of necessarily what they think about when they go out. That will take care of itself a lot of times.
Yeah, we always, you know, we give our kids the green light to shoot. Mm-hmm. you know, especially in girls basketball, you don't want them to hesitate and feel like they're not able to shoot the ball. Yeah. We give our kids the green light. We tell them every night, you rebound, you play defense, the offense takes care of itself. We feel like that if we can get you, you know, if we can get you in a half court or a half court game where we're defending, we're going to get turnovers. And then if we need to, we can press you and we can get turnovers and we can get offense if we need it. But we don't, you know, we don't tell kids not to shoot. You'll never hear us getting on a kid for shooting the basketball. You may hear us getting on a kid for not taking a layup and shooting a jump shot instead, but you'll never hear us saying anything to them about shooting the basketball. You will hear us say something to them if they don't rebound and they don't defend.
Yeah.
Coach, you have 8 games left on the schedule. 5 of those are at home. So this could be a crucial run, I guess, gaining momentum. Starting with Monday night, looks like you have Rockcastle. I'm sure, I mean, they're good every year.
Oh, yeah.
So you've got Rockcastle, you've got Clay County, and then you have a couple 11th region teams. Yeah. Good time to get on a roll, I guess, and to try to prepare yourself for the district and then the region. Yeah,
up until last night, we had won 10 straight. Obviously, we've got Rockcastle, defending state champions, coming in. Thursday night, we got Clay County. They're going to be, you know, they're going to be picked to win their region. They're, I think, 6th in the state. Going to have Ashland Blazer here Saturday. They're picked to win their region. It's like we tell our girls, we don't have any nights off. Right. You know, we've still got Dunbar. We've got to go to Dunbar. Last game of the season, they're in the top 25. You know, it'll be good for us right now. We need to, you know, pick it up, make a little run right here. I easily think we could run the table and win 8 straight. That being said, if we don't show up one night, you know, Clay County is a hard team to defend. You know what they're going to do. They're going to sit up. They're going to play 2-3 zone. They're going to make you beat them.
Right.
You know, they're going to make you hit shots to beat them. But you know, we feel like we might be able to get them in transition and get them up and down the floor a little bit. Dunbar will be a game that if you like transition basketball, you're going to see transition basketball. They press you from the beginning to the end, and you know, it's going to be one of those games. It'll be fun to watch. You know, as a coaching staff, we have a good time sometimes with the games, not only the in-game strategy, but you know, just watching it, because girls basketball has evolved in the last 10 years. It's good basketball to watch.
Right.
You know. It's I tell the people in the community, they say, hey, you got a pretty good team. I'm like, hey, come on out and see us.
Right.
Come watch us.
Right.
You know, we've got I think we've got something here in the last 4 or 5 years that we've not had in the past. We've got really good basketball and good basketball talent here in Madison County.
Okay. Well, so come on out. Like as we said, we've got 5 games of the last 8 games of the schedule at home. We look for a strong run to the district, and we'll follow them all the way through the region. Hopefully another trip to Western Kentucky. Yeah. Coach, good luck to you, and we'll be right back after this.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm David Sullivan. In the years traveling with ESPN and covering sports around the country, one of my biggest concerns was that my dogs were well cared for. Well, here at Luxury Pets, you can feel very comfortable your animals and pets are being cared for.
Well, thank you, David. You know, Luxury Pet Services is the home for happy dogs.
Luxury Pet Services is located about 3 minutes from Richmond Center. Visit our website or Facebook us. Luxury Pet Services, the home for happy dogs.
Your School Sports is brought to you by State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goble in Richmond, Luxury Pet Service, Guardian Bank, faithcreated.org, Davenport Custom Guitars, your local repair connection, Richmond Tourism, Time Warner Cable, Madison County Schools, WWAG Radio, and Rosenbaum Communications.
Welcome back to Madison County School Sports Television, and we will now go into our State Farm Technology segment of the show. Jerry is going to show us a little bit about how you can utilize technology, whether you're coaching upward, YMCA, middle school, any type of organized basketball. Here's a piece of technology that can help you and your child.
Thank you, Randy. I was just going to share with you, as we've been doing some games early, and we'd like to have stats with us as we're going throughout the game and kind of tracking what's going on. I took our iPad and decided to download a program called Hoop Stats. I'm not here necessarily touting that one. There's several on there, but the point to the audience out there is this. There's a lot of programs you can use. Your kids may be playing upward, maybe playing middle school basketball, could be playing high school basketball, and you'd like to kind of keep up with things a little more, see how they're doing, how the team's shooting the ball, those kind of things. We've got a program here, again, it's called Hoop Stats, and this is actually showing a game from last night that I'd gone to see. And it's pretty easy to operate. You can see how you can touch where the shot was taken from, make or miss, and who made or missed it. It'll track their shooting percentage. You then click who rebounded the ball, and it'll keep up with rebounds, offensive and defensive. You can click steals, and it'll click who stole the ball, but then also it'll automatically ask you who turned it over. So you can track all those stats that just help you to, we talk about in the business world, and I know you do in education, that what gets measured gets done.
Gets done, that's right.
Well, a lot of times even with our kids, we'd like to measure how they're doing, how they're performing, and be able to show them. A neat thing at the end of a game, you can show the stats, and it'll actually show you their key stats, their field goal percentage, rebounding, turnovers and steals. It'll show you where they shot the basketball from, makes and misses, denoted by green circles or red X's.
Red X's.
And then you can even get to individuals, so you can look at an individual shot charts and how they've done. So it's a neat application. Whether you have an iPad, an Android tablet, some other form of technology like this, you probably can go and find something similar. And it may make it a little more fun as you're sitting there in the crowd, give you a little less time to yell at the referee as you're trying to track what's happening during the game. So just a thought.
If you don't feel comfortable in utilizing this technology, probably ask your kid. He'll be able to show you how to do it, because they're either texting on the internet or gaming at some point during the day. But this is a good tool, as Jerry has stated, to look at percentages, look how the team is playing, the ebb and flow of the game without having to write it down. Technology is, as we say, right at the tip of your finger, and this is a good app to use.
Hi, I'm David Sullivan. In the years traveling with ESPN and covering sports around the country, one of my biggest concerns was that my dogs were well cared for. Well, here at Luxury Pets, you can feel very comfortable your animals and pets are being cared for.
Well, thank you, David. Luxury Pet Services is the home for happy dogs.
Luxury Pet Services is located about 3 minutes from Richmond Center. Visit our website or Facebook us. Luxury Pet Services, the home for happy dogs.
Your School Sports is brought to you by State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goble in Richmond, Luxury Pet Service, Guardian Bank, faithcreated.org, Davenport Custom Guitars, your local repair connection, Richmond Tourism, Time Warner Cable, Madison County Schools, WWAG Radio, and Rosenbaum Communications.
Welcome back to Madison County School Sports Television. We'd like to thank Coach Alan Feldhouse Jr. and Robbie Cooksey for their time coming in and talk about their respected teams. Jerry, it's been exciting for all county schools as well as Madison Southern. Their girls and boys basketball programs are doing quite well. Their boys programs are currently playing in Lincoln County today as we're videoing this program, but a great time to be a fan in the community in Richmond. We like and I'm sure the coaches and the players would like for everybody to come out and watch them live, and it would be good for them.
Absolutely, Randy. The teams are playing well. It's in high school basketball. There's not anything quite like it. It's an atmosphere that you can go feel comfortable taking your family to. You get to bring your kids out and let them enjoy and see what's going on. While they sit there, they may decide what extracurricular activity they want to do. It might be the band, it might be cheerleading, it might be in some management aspect of what's going on game day, and it might be playing or coaching. But it may give them something that they want to do and develop a lifelong passion for. And right now you've got really good opportunities here to see great teams who are doing a good job this year, and we believe we've got a great opportunity to extend their seasons past the district and region all the way into state tournament. So,
well, luckily the district tournament is at McBrayer Arena at Eastern Kentucky, and also the 11th region tournament is at Eastern Kentucky. So should be a good home court advantage for both the girls and the boys of all Madison County schools. As you noted, you don't have to be a basketball player to come out to enjoy it. Cheerleading, there's a lot of cheerleaders on both sidelines. Dance team, they perform at most games at halftime, and a lot of things that kids can get involved with. And if you can't come to see it live, you can also watch it on Channel 9, Madison County Schools, Channel 9, also Time Warner Channel 5, and also MadisonCountySchoolSports.com is where you can check out some of the games if you're busy and can't see it live. We're available at any time you want on the internet or on TV. So Jerry, enjoyed today, enjoyed
Absolutely.
talking to the coaches. They don't get paid for what they do because they work a lot of hours. It's a lot of time, as Coach Feldhouse stated.
Yeah.
It's year-round, but they love what they do.
Absolutely. They do a great job. They do it because they love being around the kids. And, Coach Feldhouse mentioned the big crowd that we had in here against Tate's Creek the other night. The big crowd that went over to see Madison Central play against Trinity. Those are difference makers. Right. That's worth 2 or 3 or 4 points probably to the game. And in both of those games, that might be the difference in winning or losing. And these kids are out working hard, doing a good job, maintaining the grades, maintaining the type of behavior that keeps them on these teams.
Right.
And these coaches are involved in their lives and are making sure of that. And so the least I think we can do as a community is get out there and support them, help them, push them through. The difference in the fans being there or not may be enough to get them through a game.
Well, that was great to see. We were at the game prior to Madison Central versus Trinity, was the Bullitt East Rowan County game. And then the game after was Montgomery County's home game. And Madison Central's student section was probably 200 strong, and it was the only students that I saw anywhere in the gym.
Yeah.
And they drove all the way from Richmond, and they made a difference.
Absolutely.
Which again talks about getting involved with your school and with your community. So we'd like to thank everybody for watching our show, and have a good day.
Your School Sports is brought to you by State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goebel in Richmond, Luxury Pet Service, Guardian Bank, faithcreated.org, Davenport Custom Guitars, your local repair connection, Richmond Tourism, Time Warner Cable, Madison County Schools, WWAG Radio, and Rosenbaum Communications.
Hi, I'm David Sullivan. In the years traveling with ESPN and covering sports around the country, one of my biggest concerns was that my dogs were well cared for. Well, here at Luxury Pets, you can feel very comfortable your animals and pets are being cared for.
Well, thank you, David. Luxury Pet Services is the home for happy dogs.
Luxury Pet Services is located about 3 minutes from Richmond Center. Visit our website or Facebook us. Luxury Pet Services, the home for happy dogs.
Hi, I'm Randy Neely.
And I'm Jerry Goebel. Be sure to watch your teams on MadisonCountySchoolSportsTelevision.com,
where we highlight every child in Madison County, no matter what the season.
Make sure to watch your school sports
at MadisonCountySchoolSports.com.
Fans, when we were actually doing a ball game, Randy and I talk a lot of times about how important rebounding, turnovers, and free throw shooting, how important those 3 things are. And what we thought we'd do today is show you the free throw shooting part is really important. We always say on the air, free throws, you got to make them. Why?
Because they're free.
They're free. So they've named them that for a reason. So we're going to do a little free throw shooting competition, best out of 5 between Randy and I. And we'll just show you how easy free throws are to make. you can see, Randy,
They are free. What's so hard about free throws? Come on, boys and girls, hit your free throws. You'll win the game.
Your School Sports is brought to you by State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goble in Richmond, Luxury Pet Service, Guardian Bank, faithcreated.org, Davenport Custom Guitars, your local repair connection, Richmond Tourism, Time Warner Cable, Madison County Schools, WWAG Radio, and Rosenbaum Communications.
Hi, I'm David Sullivan. In the years traveling with ESPN and covering sports around the country, one of my biggest concerns was that my dogs were well cared for. Well, here at Luxury Pets, you can feel very comfortable your animals and pets are being cared for.
Well, thank you, David. You know, Luxury Pet Services is the home for happy dogs.
Luxury Pet Services is located about 3 minutes from Richmond Center. Visit our website or Facebook us. Luxury Pet Services, the home for happy dogs.